I thought I was just the useful one in the family, the fixer, the silent provider. But when my daughter was deliberately excluded from Christmas dinner, something in me broke. I didn't yell, I didn't argue. I simply packed up and walked away. What happened next exposed every ugly truth about the people I thought I could trust, and forced me to choose between keeping the peace or protecting my child. This story isn't about revenge, it's about a plate, and what happens when you finally demand one for someone who was never supposed to have a seat. Watch until the end. It matters. I've always been the dependable one. You know, the guy who fixes the Wi-Fi at family gatherings, brings extra batteries for toys on Christmas morning, remembers birthdays without needing Facebook reminders. My parents used to call me useful, like it was a compliment. But useful is just another word for invisible. Christmas has always been a production in our family. My parents live for the noise and chaos. My brother Nate's booming voice, his son Max tearing through wrapping paper like it's a competition, my mom hovering with a camera for every moment. I've never minded taking a back seat. I liked watching it all unfold, holding my daughter Lily close and letting her soak in what a big family looked like. Lily's 7. She's soft-spoken and observant, too observant sometimes. We adopted her 3 years ago after years of trying and failing biologically. She was our miracle, not because she saved us, but because we got to show her that love doesn't require matching DNA. She's everything. That Christmas, the house was decked out like usual. Tinsel on every surface, Bing Crosby on loop, and the dining room table set for 8. My parents, Nate and his wife, Max, me, Sarah, and I paused. I counted again. 7 plates, not 8. No plate for Lily. I blinked. Maybe it was an oversight. I walked over to the kitchen where my mom was pouring gravy into a boat like she was hosting the royal family. "Hey, Mom, I think we're missing a setting for Lily." She didn't look up. There wasn't enough. My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" She sighed, finally meeting my eyes. "She upset Max earlier. So we thought it would be better if she sat with the little tray in the den." The little tray. Like a side table. Like a dog. I looked over and saw Lily standing at the doorway, clutching her stuffed fox, pretending not to notice. Her lip quivered just slightly. "She's 7, I said, keeping my voice steady. "She belongs at the table." "Well, Max is family," my mother snapped, like Lily wasn't. "And she made him cry." I didn't ask what Lily did. I didn't need to. Max cries when he doesn't win at Uno. I turned to Sarah, whose eyes were already glassy. Without a word, we helped Lily into her coat, buttoned her up, and left. Just like that. No scene. No yelling. On the drive home, Lily stared out the window, her breath fogging the glass. Sarah reached back and tucked a blanket over her legs. "Are we in trouble?" Lily whispered. I swallowed hard. "No, sweetheart. We just don't go where you're not wanted." The silence that followed was louder than any argument I could have made at that table. By the time we pulled into the driveway, I knew something had shifted in me. Not anger, not resentment, just finality. A quiet realization that I had let too much slide for too long. I was done being the useful one. I wanted to be the protective one. Starting now. The house was quiet when we got home. Not awkward quiet, safe quiet. Lily slipped into her fuzzy pajamas and curled up on the couch with her fox and a cup of warm milk. Sarah turned on some animated movie, more for background than anything else. We didn't say much. We didn't need to. That's the thing people don't understand about peace. It doesn't always look like smiling or laughter. Sometimes it's just not walking on eggshells. I sat on the edge of the couch, phone in hand, watching Lily's face as her eyes started to droop. I kept waiting for her to ask why her plate was missing, why her seat didn't matter, why her grandfather, the same man who read her bedtime stories last summer, acted like she was furniture. But she never asked. She just leaned her head on Sarah's shoulder and whispered, "I like our house better anyway." I felt my throat tighten, but I nodded. Me too. It was 9:47 p.m. when the text came in. Dad, rent due tomorrow. Just a heads up. No, hi. No sorry about earlier. Just a financial reminder, like nothing had happened. Like my daughter hadn't been erased from Christmas dinner. I stared at the message. My thumb hovered over the keyboard, unsure what version of me was about to respond. The old me would have sent the money without a word. It was just a few hundred, right? And it was family. But suddenly I saw the pattern for what it was. I paid rent for their house every month like it was a subscription to toxicity. I paid in silence. I paid in patience. I paid in letting them treat my child like she didn't matter. So long as I stayed useful, not anymore. I opened my photo gallery and found the pictures I'd taken that evening, without really thinking. The dining table, 7 plates, Lily's empty corner, the little TV tray in the den with one small fork, then the short clip I'd recorded on instinct, Sarah helping Lily into her coat while Max tore open another present, oblivious. I sent the photos, then the video, then finally I wrote, me. I won't be paying for people who don't make space for my daughter at their table. If she's not family to you, neither am I. Don't contact me for money again. I hit send. I turned off my phone. Sarah reached over, resting her hand on mine, not saying a word. We watched the rest of the movie like it was any other night. Lily drifted off before the credits rolled. But I was wide awake. Not from anger, from clarity. My parents had always relied on my silence, on my ability to smooth things over, fix the tech, pay the bills, keep the peace. But they forgot something. I'm not just a son. I'm a father now, and I don't fund cruelty. The family group chat lit up like a fire alarm at 6:02 a.m. Mom, Alex, what is this? Nate, you're really doing this now? Over a dinner plate? Dad, let's talk. Don't blow this out of proportion. I didn't answer. I made Lily pancakes with blueberries, her favorite. We danced in the kitchen while the coffee brewed. Sarah hummed Christmas songs off-key, and we laughed like we were trying to scrub our house clean of the night before. But by 8:15 a.m., I broke the silence. I opened my notes app and started documenting everything. Every loan, every emergency transfer, every time I'd bailed them out with rent, car repairs, or groceries over the last 5 years. $300 here, $200 there. A total of $17,490. I screenshotted bank statements. I made a tidy spreadsheet. And then I attached it all to the family chat with one line. Me. Here's the proportion. That's when the tone changed. Mom, are you really keeping score now? Nate, this is disgusting. You used to care. Dad, what happened to you? I almost laughed. What happened to me? I became a father. The messages kept coming, weaving between guilt and manipulation like a seasoned dance. My mom said I was being cold, that I was punishing them for loving Max more naturally because he was blood. My dad brought up his health, how stress makes it worse, how I was breaking his heart. But I didn't budge. I didn't rage. I didn't plead. I replied once, and once only. Me. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm protecting my daughter. If you want a relationship with us, it has to include her. Fully, equally, and without conditions. I won't bankroll a family that refuses to see her as one of their own. This is my boundary. I'm not debating it. Then I left the chat. I removed myself from the shared family Venmo group. I closed the joint grocery account I'd been topping up every month without thanks. I emailed my parents a formal message with the subject line, "Moving forward." In it, I wrote, "We are open to future relationships built on respect and equality, but financial entanglements are over. Our daughter will not be excluded again. If you wish to be part of our lives, that invitation includes Lily. Fully. No exceptions." Sarah read it before I hit send. She nodded, eyes wet. "Are you okay?" she asked. I thought about it, about how easy it would have been to just pay the rent, pretend it didn't happen, let Lily forget. But that's the thing about kids. They don't forget. They just learn how to make themselves small to survive. "No," I said. "But I'm right." Later that day, I watched Lily twirl in the snow, laughing as Sarah threw soft snowballs her way. Her cheeks were red, her gloves 2 sizes too big. She looked free. I thought about the empty plate, and I knew I was done being the fixer. Now, I was the line in the sand. It was 3 days later when the knock came. I wasn't expecting anyone, certainly not my father, standing on my porch in a windbreaker like he was just passing through. Not the man who'd ignored every boundary I'd drawn. He didn't wait for an invitation. He just gave me that tired half smile he always wore when he wanted something and said, "Can we talk?" I stepped outside, closing the door behind me. "I'm not here to argue," he said quickly. "Just to talk." I crossed my arms. "Then talk." He rubbed his hands together like the cold was a personal offense. "It's just 1 more month, Alex. Rent's behind again. After that, we'll be square. Things are tighter than usual." I didn't respond. He sighed. "Look, your mother, she got carried away. You know how she is. She didn't mean anything by it. Max is just sensitive and—" I held up a hand. "Stop." He did. "Do you hear yourself?" I asked. "You're asking me for money while explaining away my daughter being excluded from Christmas dinner like it was a mood swing, like she didn't sit there wondering why she wasn't wanted." His mouth opened, then closed again. For once, he had no answer. "I get it," I said, my voice low. "You're from a different time. You think blood matters more. You think adopted means optional. But Lily is my daughter. She is your granddaughter, and she will never be treated like a guest in this family again." His eyes softened. "I didn't say she wasn't family." "You didn't have to," I said. "You all said it when you set 7 plates?" He looked down, ashamed, or maybe just caught. "I'm not here to shame you," I said, "but I'm not paying rent anymore. I'm not keeping the lights on in a house where my kid gets left in the dark. If that means we're done, then we're done. But I won't teach Lily that love means silence and sacrifice. I won't let her think she has to earn a seat at the table." He looked older than I remembered, smaller, like a man who realized too late that he couldn't control the game anymore. After a pause, he nodded. "Okay," he said. "Okay, I get it." I didn't know if he meant it, but I nodded back. Before he walked away, he turned and asked, "Can I still send her a gift?" I studied his face. For once, I didn't see manipulation. I saw uncertainty. "You can, but she'll open it on our terms." "And if it ever makes her feel less than, it's the last one." He nodded again and walked back to his car. I watched him drive off and felt something lift from my chest. Not triumph, not peace, just space, like I'd cleared a path, even if I didn't know where it led yet. When I went back inside, Lily was drawing. Stick figures holding hands. One of them had a ponytail. One had a beard. One had freckles and a fox. "Who's that?" I asked, pointing to the fox. "That's Mr. Fluff," she said seriously. "He always gets a plate." I smiled. "That's the rule?" She nodded, content. And in that moment, I knew. I didn't walk away from my family. I walked towards something better. The voicemail started the next morning. First, Mom. "Alex, it's your mother. I can't believe how cold you're being. After everything we've done for you, I'm hurt." "I really am. And you need to think about how this will affect everyone, especially Max." Then again, 2 hours later. "You're making your father sick with this stress. He barely slept last night. And don't think Lily doesn't feel this tension too. It's not fair to her." I stopped listening after that. Just let them pile up in my inbox like trash I'd take out later. Then came Nate. Unlike Mom, he didn't bother with guilt. He went straight for the throat. "Nate, you think you're better than us now because you adopted? Get over yourself, man. She's not even yours." I stared at the message for a long time. Not because it surprised me, but because of how easy it rolled off his tongue, like he'd been waiting to say it for years. That's when I realized it wasn't just favoritism. It wasn't just the dinner. It was resentment, buried and rotting under the surface. My brother didn't see Lily as real. He saw her as competition, a threat, a symbol of me doing something good while he stood still. I blocked his number, for now. I didn't need that energy in my house. Instead, I sat down with Sarah and laid it all out. I want to make our home ours again, I said. Not a branch office of their chaos. I want rules, not for Lily. She's fine, for us. She smiled. Go on. So we made a list on the fridge. House rules, drawn in Lily's favorite colors. Everyone gets a plate. No one makes Lily small. We don't pay for disrespect. Peace obligation. Love shows up. It was a start. We unsubscribed from the shared Amazon Prime account. Changed the streaming passwords. Closed, lingering family group chats. It felt petty at first, like we were cutting cords with scissors too sharp. But each step was a piece of our sanity being returned. Then we took Lily sledding. It was the first snow of the year. She laughed so hard she fell off the sled and rolled down the hill. Sarah fell with her. I took photos from the top, heart full. No pressure, no proving. Just joy. Later that night, as we sipped cocoa, Sarah leaned into me and whispered, "This feels like freedom." And it did. Not the loud kind. Not the kind you post about. The kind you feel in your bones. The kind that says, you chose better. For her, for us. Lily slept in our bed that night, nestled between us like a lighthouse. I watched her breathing, slow and steady. Let them scream. Let them guilt. Let them spiral. In this house, we were building something unbreakable. One plate, one rule, one boundary at a time. The silence didn't last, but it changed. Instead of anger, my father's next message was short, a photo of a notebook page, a handwritten budget, sloppy but honest, no rent included, just 2 columns labeled needs and extras, then another message. Dad, trying something different. Found a financial counselor at the library, says they'll help, not asking for money. Just wanted you to know. I stared at it for a while, unsure if it was real effort or another performance. But something about it, maybe the handwriting, maybe the fact that it wasn't laced with guilt, made me pause. Sarah leaned over and read it too. That's new, she said carefully. It is, I agreed. 2 days later, another surprise. My mom commented on a photo I'd posted of Lily at the sled hill. Just 3 words. She looks happy. No digs. No backhanded guilt. Just observation. Still distant, but less pointed. Then came the big one. Mom, can we talk? Just us. I promise. No drama. I'd like to say something face to face. Maybe I didn't get it before. Maybe I'm starting to. I didn't respond right away. I needed time to think. Time to decide if this was a trap or a turning point. I wrote back the next morning. Me. If we talk, it's on my terms. Public place, no ambushes, and Lily gets an apology, in person or in writing. That's non-negotiable. She agreed. We met at the local library in one of the small study rooms they reserve for tutoring. Neutral ground, fluorescent lighting, thin walls, safe. She looked older than the last time I saw her. No makeup, red eyes, clutching a notebook like she was heading into court. I'm not good at this, she said before sitting. You don't have to be, I replied. Just be honest. She nodded and opened the notebook. Her hands trembled slightly as she read, I'm sorry I didn't set a plate for Lily. I told myself it was about Max, but it wasn't. It was about control and discomfort and ignorance, and I hate that I let that get in the way of love. She looked up, eyes watery. I don't expect forgiveness right away, but I needed you to hear that. I stayed quiet, not out of spite, just taking it in. I've been wrong about a lot, she continued, about what family means, about what your father means when he says helping. You've held us together for years, and we treated that like your job, not your gift. There it was. Not a full reckoning, but not denial either. Thank you, I said, but I need you to understand. This doesn't go away with one apology. We're not walking back into the same dynamic. Everything changes, or nothing does. She nodded. I know, and Lily's invited. Next time. First one at the table if she wants. I'll put her name on the plate myself. That part hit me, because it wasn't about the plate. It never was. It was about the message it sent. And finally, she understood. We left the library with no hug, no promises, just mutual terms. A quiet handshake of respect. When I got home, I told Lily someone owed her a plate. She wrinkled her nose. Do I still get cocoa? You get 2 cocos. She beamed. We were rewriting the rules, and for the first time in years, it felt like the other side might actually read them. Dinner was scheduled for the second Saturday of January. No fanfare, no group text chains. Just a quiet invitation. A simple email from Mom that read, "Dinner at 5, no obligations, everyone gets a plate." I stared at it for a long time before showing Sarah. We both knew what it meant, or rather, what it could mean, change, or another performance. But this time we had rules, and this time Lily had armor. 2 parents who would leave at the first sign of disrespect without apology. We drove there in near silence. Lily clutched a coloring book in her lap, humming to herself. No tension, no fear. Maybe kids really are more resilient than we give them credit for. We pulled into the driveway. The porch light was already on. When we stepped inside, the first thing I noticed was the table. 8 plates, 8 cloth napkins, 8 chairs, and in front of one of them, decorated with glittery stickers and stars, was a white place card. Lily handwritten, underlined, a folded piece of paper like it was a VIP name tag. Lily saw it and lit up. "That's me," she squealed, running over. "It has a star." Sarah squeezed my hand so tightly I almost winced. Mom came in from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. Her eyes met mine, and for once there was no defensiveness in them, just quiet sincerity. "Hi, Lily," she said. "I saved your spot. Hope you're hungry." Lily nodded like it was the most natural thing in the world. Dinner was quiet, peaceful, not strained, not fake, just quieter than usual. Nate wasn't there, said he was busy, though I suspect he was avoiding us. That was fine. I didn't miss him. My father asked Lily questions about school. He listened when she answered. My mother asked if she liked the stars on her name card. Lily grinned and said, "I felt famous." When the meal was done, we all cleared the table. No one left the women to clean up. No one slipped away. We did it together. As we packed up to leave, I braced myself for the ask, the guilt, the favor. But it never came. No, we need help with the gas bill. No, can you cover groceries this week? No quiet mentions of Dr. Copays. Just, thank you for coming. Hope we see you again. On the drive home, Lily fell asleep with her hand curled around the name card. Sarah took a picture and whispered, "That's going in the baby box." I nodded, eyes on the road, heart full. Because this wasn't just a win. It was proof that people can change if you draw the line clearly enough, that love can grow if it's tended with boundaries, not obligation, and that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say isn't a scream or a threat. It's walking away from a table that forgets your child and waiting. Because when they're ready to set it properly, you'll know. And so will she. From that day forward, we had a new family rule. Everyone gets a plate. If you forget, we leave. That's it. No drama, no second chances, just dignity. And maybe, just maybe, that's how we saved not just Lily from them, but them from themselves.